by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hands up!
From the 41, Dalton. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Noah Spence able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. A little juke. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Ready? 58, boys. 58, Mike. Here we go, G. It's just me and you.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
A quick throw here out to Cobb. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And some doesn't matter if you creep up to the line. You have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. And he will be brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Taylor. And that's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now it's Taylor. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off at the 38. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run with Michelle. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Check hot route. Hot. Watch the eye. Switch. Shut up.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep on the ground with Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 7.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the gun, it's Taylor. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say...
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. That one complete to Elliott. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is Elliott. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Taylor on the move to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, Elliott. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Let's go, let's go!
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They go play action with Taylor. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Tyrod Taylor, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Dalton. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They go with a screen to Gore. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
He's going to look for, and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Danico Autry able to record his 5th sack of the season. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play action now. Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. On 1st down, it's Gore. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. The kick by McManus is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Here we go. Here we go. Check 26. Check 26. 66. Pull it. Half. No. Off. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears.
Again, it's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
On the stop. A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Jackson's going to try the sneak, and he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll pitch it. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Taylor hit. He lost the football.
Result of the play, 1st down and 10.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down, 4 down. Check. Check 50, check 50. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Touchdown.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. They go play action now. Taylor. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Minnesota.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
They'll run it. This is Michel. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Fred Warner in on the tackle.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Dalton. He's going to air one out for him. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Set. 58 to Mike. Here we go. Slam. Good low. Hey. Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Rush in. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Watch the safety creep.
On first down, Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now Taylor to throw, and that's Elliott, complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Michelle. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here you go, 368.
Smooth.
So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Under 10, 10. Bang, bang, bang.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. Bulldozes past him. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the slant. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. 58.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, watch it. Check safety. Check 24.
Caught by Cobb. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity?
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Chris Jones on the stop.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 2-yard line. Today's final score, Lions 7.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Lions, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get to stay.